It's party time. It's the festive season, a time of long nights, cold days, even colder evenings, that pervasive chill that never seems to shift out of your bones, watching as happy couples enjoy the warmth of their own love, glowing in their continued and shared happiness, always smiling and filled with joy, while you're left out in the cold, staring in through the window like some foul shadow of humanity. And also snow, although in London it's smog. But that's just the seasonal depression talking. Probably. But it is also a time of giving gifts. Don't worry, I'm not so conceited that I would write a gift-giving guide. Ho, ho, ho. No, I'm terrible enough as it is getting gifts for my own loved ones, let alone knowing what yours would want. Do you think we should get David fancy shampoos and conditioners? He's bald. I'll just get 2. But what also happens during this period is parties, social gatherings, something I know lots about. I'm invited to all of the parties. As a child, I attended at least 2. But what sort of party would it be without some forced, state-mandated, constructive fun? A bad one, that's what. So, while I wait for my guests to arrive, I'll walk you through 3 fun party games that will be perfect for your next shindig. It's the start of your party. People are just about turning up, hopefully, and they need shaking out of their stupor and reservations. That's where Anomia comes in. It's all about that sensation where words just get stuck on the tip of your, what was it? You know, the thing in your mouth, the big slug, the mouth's arm, the slippery limb, the teeth's closest ally, the thing your lips warn you about. It mobilizes the food, it tastes the 23 unique flavors of Dr. Pepper, the talker's trinket. You and up to 6 players will engage in linguistic combat all over one simple deck of cards. On these cards, there are 2 things, a colourful symbol and a topic. Your goal is to have the most cards in your victory stack. Simple. But what do I mean by a linguistic battle? When you go tongue to tongue, lock in mouth to mouth combat? Well, it's simple. You're all collectively drawing from the stack and flipping it face up on your own stack in front of you. However, you need to look out for matching symbols around the table. You flip over a lightning bolt and you see there's another lightning bolt. Well done, friend! It's time to get mouthed! This is where the topics come in. Quick as you can, you need to state something that fits the topic on your opponent's card, and they do the same for you. Can you name a sitcom? Friends. Faster than they can name a reptile. Barney the dinosaur. Whomever wins the clash takes the opposing card and adds it to their face-down spoils. It is ultimately that simple. Attention builds around the table as every card ticks along the game. It builds and builds and builds until that needs to break at the next face-off. But by that point, you're so stressed that your brain has gone entirely blank. Behind your eyes is nothing more than white noise, and in that flash of a second, your mouth moves before your brain engages. A burr! You let off a sonic blast in your panic, stunning your foe for the crucial milliseconds that allows your brain to engage the gears that have rusted over, finally allowing you to say that correct answer. Kermit the Frog. Take your card. But wait, there's more. The table is constantly evolving with each sweep of the group. The assortment of cards and symbols change. But importantly, they're all stacked on top of one another. When a card is won in lip-induced conflict, it's taken from the player's pile, revealing another symbol. Sure, when this card first walked these streets, it wasn't anything special, but now it matches with another player. That brief lull in the war sparks up again, and you're thrust once more into the art of mouths. This game is a tinderbox waiting to explode. It is at times slow and ponderous, the odd spark here and there, and at others it's explosive as it chains together turn after turn, until you're all so mentally spent that you and your friend, to face off, you stare at each other, stare at the cards, stare at each other again, back at the cards. Any second now. Come on. There's something in there. Where is it? Breaking by wheel. There it is. And that's Anomia. My only real gripe is that, well, some of the topics can be a little rogue. How many operas does your group know? How many unique beaches can you all name? Also, the player count, sure, I guess, is limited to 6 because it's important for everyone to be able to see everything at once. But, well, you could always just combine these two decks together to form one mega deck where just everyone can play. Well, hold on there, cowboy. This party's beginning to get just a little bit too rowdy. I think it's about time we try out our next game. We're further into the party now. Everyone's limbered up after all that mouth chat. You've even broken out the premium party goods. Quegs, which means you can break out the meatier games to light your social gathering. Pictomania is that game. From the esteemed designer Vlada Shvartil, the maker of the classic Codenames, this is basically Pictionary, except everyone is playing all at the same time. Yes, you'll all be drawing separate prompts and simultaneously trying to guess what everyone else has drawn to hopefully score points and win. But how does this work? Well, like every good game, we must consult the prompt matrix. Ta-da! See, I told you I knew how to have fun. It's simple. These 3 cards are your array of prompts. Each player will be drawing one of these things. No duplicates. At the start of each round, each player is dealt 2 cards. One that has a letter on it of A, B, or C, and another that has a number of 1 to 7. Then, consulting the matrix, yeah, you're seeing it, right? That's right. That's what you're drawing. So, you'd be drawing a centaur. Cool. I'm not meant to know that. It's a secret. Then everyone starts furiously drawing, scribbling away to try and draw their prompt as best as they can. Once you're finished drawing, you can look up and begin guessing. You look at the drawing your partner's still desperately scribbling away at, and, well, you really have no clue what they're doing over there. So you look over there, and it's some abstract scratchings that may or may not give the idea of one of these prompts. Oh man, your friends are terrible at art. This is where the silliness comes in. Once you've finished drawing, you can't go back. You slam your pencil down, proud of your masterpiece. Then, as the dust settles and everyone else has guessed every other picture, their eyes return to the impossible conundrum. What is that? You then get to sit there as they berate you because they're trying to work out what you've actually drawn. Like, what's this line meant to be? What's that line meant to be? Is this meant to represent a leg? Oh God, well, it turns out that you're drawing a light bulb and you're equally as terrible as art as everyone else. Speed is the element here, though. The first correct guess on a picture gets the most points. The person who places all their guesses first gets the most points. But you as an artist also get more points for correctly being guessed correctly by the most people looking at your terrible scrawl. There is this constant juggle between trying to draw something actually functional while still having the time to unleash your inner art critic and make snap decisions on what everyone else has drawn. Like, is that meant to be a nightlight? Is that possibly meant to be a bee? But hold on there, cowboy. A lot of these seem very similar. How's anyone meant to draw the difference between a dragon and a demon? Will people really be able to tell at a glance the difference between a Pegasus and a unicorn? Well, probably not, but that's where thinking comes in. There is only one of each number, and two of each letter, so there's a little logical elimination plot here, yeah? Yeah, say you're looking at someone's drawing and it's a little fella with legs. Well, it could be an ant, or maybe even a beetle. To be honest, it could even be a spider. Again, your friends are bad at art. But wait, think back. You were drawing a centaur. That's number 5. That gets rid of the beetle. And your friend over here was pretty confidently drawing Aladdin's lamp, which is number 7. So, there goes the spider. I'm beginning to think that this might very well be an ant. The prompts start out simple with little overlap. Let's be honest, we all know the difference between a spider and an ant. It's the look of a godless killer in the eyes that is unique to a spider. But there are 4 rounds and the cards get harder and weirder. By round 4, you're trying to draw a member of parliament that's unique enough when compared to a senator, or even a prime minister, or even an embezzler on another card. I mean, let's be honest though, there's very little difference in oh, political satire, wow. Pictomania is fast-paced and relies on you all becoming strange with your drawings, crashing out as you try and think of the most unique thing between smog, fog, and air. The anxiety kicks in and you just start drawing shapes and, oh god, it's dignity, Luan! Oh boy, that was a Simpsons reference. Ooh, he's a cool one. One time while playing with my family nearly 6 years ago, my sister added an event to the family canon when she drew something that looked a bit like an ant and some kind of crescent. It turned out the crescent was a slice of cantaloupe because she was trying to draw a moose, that's right. No, it was an antelope. She was trying to draw an antelope. It's just a really silly game that incorporates things everyone can do. Draw badly and make dumb guesses at interpreting images, like you're trying to prove to everyone you're not some form of robot. What better way to spend a social gathering? Right, okay, we're late into the night now. We've had at least one alcoholic beverage. And to be honest, those first 2 games were kind of intense. The fundamental attraction for both Anomia and Pictomania is a sense of mania. It's literally in both of the names. Sort of. So, for the final game of the day, it's time for something a lot less structured, laid back, and the classic sort of social game that asks very little of your friends beyond thinking and knowing one another. I mean, I know all of my friends really well. I knew they would never turn up to this party for one. Wavelength is just that. It's borderline a game show in a box from the mind of Wolfgang Warsch, the maker of such favourites as Quaxer Quedlinburg and The Mind. Wavelength is more on the cerebral side of things, like The Mind, but without the tension and stress that might lead your partygoers to explode. Look at this board, if you can even call it a board. I mean, I'm struggling to fit in all of this. This is more of a transformation of the box itself. You've got this huge wheel, and already your party guests will be intrigued. Normally, you present them with games that involve placing people on unique spaces. What's that? 17 unique phases in a turn? And there are only 5 turns of the game, and somehow it still takes 6 hours? No, not here. It's just you and the wheel. The premise is simple. You have 2 teams and they're all trying to synchronize like Pacific Rim, except you're not piloting a giant robot, you're trying to just guess where someone thinks something is on a spectrum. The wheelbearer of each round will bid everyone else to close their eyes. Exciting. Then they spin the wheel to place this range meter somewhere upon the wheel. Then you conceal it behind this modesty screen, so mysterious. And your friends once more open their eyes. Then the wheelbearer gives them one single word. Slime. And then the ball's in their court. You see, down here you've got your spectrum topic. Mouthfeel. From good mouthfeel to bad mouthfeel. The other members of your team need to work out where on this wheel, you said the thing lands. Now, unless you're a complete freak, slime will probably be down on the bad mouthfeel side. But then, are you an absolute freak? Let's be real now. Maybe it's all the way over here on the good mouthfeel, you little weirdo. This is what happens when you attend any gathering of mine. I bully you and call you a freak. It's all beginning to make sense as to why no one attended my party. The party turns the red dial, trying to decide on where on the wheel you think slime lands. Once they lock it in, it's time for the big reveal. Wow, and you did it! That's right, slime is a bad mouthfeel, obviously. Can't believe for a second you thought otherwise. There's a lot more about you than we all first thought. You get points, great, but you get more points the more accurate you are. There's a wide range here, so you could say something that will get you in the ballpark, sure. But if you really want to mind meld, you'd maybe start thinking of something specific to this level of bad mouthfeel, like mayonnaise. Not quite slime, but that's not very far off now, is it? The aim of the game is for your team to get 10 points, but at this point in the evening, who's really keeping track of points here? They're not really a worry of the day. This is all about your friends being loud as they adamantly declare that mayonnaise probably has like a 50% mouthfeel instead of probably the 64% mouthfeel that you're intending. It's fun and laid back. It doesn't require too much individual thought, and instead you can collectively put in as much effort as you want. It's all well and good trying to think of where something lands on the mouthfeel spectrum, or maybe even huggable to non-huggable. Cactus, probably not very huggable. Jeremy Corbyn, also not very huggable. Claws are in his name. He's an angry boy. But what about when your group is presented with sexy Pokemon and unsexy Pokemon? The collective euphoria erupts as you all laugh at the prompt, and watch the prompt giver sweat as they contemplate all the Pokemon and just what they're trying to think constitutes as sexy without getting them in prison. And then they pick Geodude for medium sexy? Oh, the joy that permeates the room. Wavelength hits that perfect social game note where you can just sort of end the game whenever you want and can still keep playing, growing sillier and sillier. Really, the only flaw is that it's a huge box. You're not taking this to parties. Parties are coming to you for this. And that's a small smattering of games perfect for social gatherings. Not like huge parties. You shouldn't actually be forcing people to play a board game when it's a large actual group of people. Are you mad? But if you're having friends round or going to visit family, why not take one of these to help break the ice and make sure you don't have to engage in small talk? Get some quegs, eat some quegs, and just have a good time. But ultimately, I think Pictomania is my favourite. It's still a structured game that doesn't have too many rules that'll get people bored and confused. It's just very fun and silly. Everyone enjoys games that involve drawing because they just yearn to be doodling, even if they're bad at it. Well, I'm all out of snacks. I'm all out of drinks. I ate 8 quegs, and that's the video. Those are the recommendations. The party's over. Like all good parties, it ends when the host is tired, full of egg, and hasn't won a single board game, so it's probably a little bit grumpy. At the risk of this going on for far too long and overstaying its welcome, like me, at any party, I'm ending it here. Go away! Oh, hello there. I'm just squatting in a corner of my flat because I thought this would be a fun little shoot to do. Anyway, I'm enjoying the benefits of throwing a party, which is eating all the quegs and eating all the party rings. My legs hurt, and this has always, as ever, been very stressful. I don't even know if this is recording. I didn't even think about whether this is recording. Who knows? Otherwise, anyway, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If you have any thoughts about any of these party games or social gathering games, light games to play at a party, let me know. Again, Pictomania, great game. I honestly love it. If you have other recommendations, let me know. I was trying to expand my collection because I basically only have deck builders. So I needed things where, you know, light things when people didn't want to actually play a board game. Otherwise, you can click up here for other videos. This one is a video about Dungeons of Pinterburg. It's an indie video game. I think the video is very fun. Down here is another one about Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door that came out on the Switch. Again, a very good video. Or you can click on my face to subscribe. I've lost all blood. It's all pouring into my legs. I think I'm dying. Thank you and goodbye.